That day, I was really trying to just keep myself busy.
Here is my commissary haul.
Trying to just remain calm, and I thought, why not just tackle one thing?
Here is my commissary haul. Went there specifically because, well, we just got back from our Vegas home and we're completely out of coffee, we're out of spaghetti, we're out of all kinds of things. And I was gonna do like a separate video, but I don't think so. But I have orange juice, milk, found 2 things of Spam. I know that I'm out of white cooking wine, got some pepperoncinis, needed some more. I had to replace some old salad dressings that are no good anymore. So I got Italian, and we like blue cheese, the chunky blue cheese. Want to also replace the old dill relish that's in the refrigerator. Kidney beans. We're running low on cinnamon, so I got one of those. Let's see, lasagna. Was in the mood for Hawaiian barbecue chips. These are really good. Some potatoes, like the gratin potatoes, panko, soy sauce, vegetable oil, cereal. Have some nice apples, celery, carrots, onions. And then I thought, why not stock up on some of the packages like gravy, Italian seasoning, ranch dressing, those kind of things. Stock. Let's see, have some hot Italian sausage, got a T-bone steak in there, chuck roast for a pot roast, pork chops, a gallon of storage bags. I also had found they have a display full of Halloween candy, and this was $9.78. I thought that was a great buy. Got Mom some dill, kosher dill spears, pickles, some coffee creamer, olive, chili beans, butter, all kinds of different cheese, so I can freeze some rice, some taco for some yellow corn tortillas to freeze, some cat food. Speaking of the cat, there's Kitty. Get some cleaning supplies to stock up in my bathroom. Pancake mix, tater tots, cornbread, bread, hot dog, lunch meat, some vegetables. This was only $5.15 for a big old pack of chicken thighs. Have some tomatoes there, heavy cream for my pork chop recipe, Parmesan, grated cheese. Also picked up this big old thing of laundry detergent for only $10. I thought that was a great buy. Also some kitty litter for only $7, which was a great buy. Sour cream, butter. Did I say that? Spaghetti. Yeah, so there you go. All of this was $280. Now, any of you guys want to help me put this away? But there are some things I need for like tomorrow, but mainly I just need to get our refrigerator and freezer stocked. Cha-ching. Hey, remember to click on the ad that comes right here so I can pay for. It could help me out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My husband's parents and sister were right in the path predicted of Hurricane Ian. Again, they were in another hurricane's path once again. We kept calling them to make sure they were safe and prepared, hoping they would have changed their minds and evacuate the island. But instead, they stayed shelter in place. They live in St. Pete Beach on an island right off the Gulf Beach. It's a beautiful place. The hurricane took a quick turn towards more south of Tampa, hitting Fort Myers. We didn't know what to expect. Their phones went dead, no internet, no power, no communication the rest of the day as Ian pounded throughout their evening and nighttime in Florida. They are 3 hours ahead of us here in California. Not knowing anything made us feel so helpless. There was nothing I could do or say. It was just pray. I kept thinking how scary they must be. in complete darkness with devastating speeds of wind and rain and flooding, I had to keep myself busy.
Now, if some of you follow me on Instagram, then you know that that day I was really trying to just keep myself busy. And I started to clean the outside window, and then I started taking off the screen. And then I thought, you know, why don't I just bust out with my camera and like film Dee? But I'm that type of person, like if something's bothering me, or if I'm really worried, especially right now as a family caregiver, I don't really want to express that to Queen G because I really don't want to get her all paranoid as well. So I'm trying to just remain calm, and I thought, why not just tackle one thing? And that one thing was the kitchen window. And why not? Because it really needed it. It had spots on it and everything. And a lot of times I like to film in that little area there because of the light, and I enjoy that view of my garden. So why not kind of keep myself busy?
I found some crazy storm chasers that were filming live on YouTube. I would have never thought I would be so glued to their whereabouts as they drive by my in-laws' town. But let me tell you, I was super grateful to them this day. As a family caregiver to my mom, I turned off the news in her room and had her watch a movie instead. I didn't want her to get overwhelmed with worrying about them because I think I was doing a great job of that for the both of us. I kept my cool and just cleaned a very dirty window just to ease the tension of the situation that day. My husband Jay was texting and calling to see if I had heard anything while he was at work, hoping I had heard something, anything. As time went by that seemed like forever, I received a message from his sister saying they're all okay. The water had receded out towards the Gulf, no flooding, wind, rain, no power, but we're okay. And then that was it. I couldn't get through to them anymore. As they begin their night with Ian, we wait, knowing we won't know anything until tomorrow morning. I tried my best to inform my mother-in-law's family and friends for her, as all the updates were given throughout that day. Thank goodness for Facebook at this time. I tagged her on all posts so that her friends and family were updated as the day went by.
Onshore from the northwest, they're not going to stay offshore potentially for a couple of days here.
Jim, maybe one of the benefits that we have is after Hurricane Andrew, they got a lot stricter with the building codes. A lot of the new buildings, at least the last 30 years, are built stronger, they'll build higher, first floors are meant to...
Well, now that I got my kitchen window done, now I'm just going to start cooking because let's face it, a lot of times when people get stressed or worried, what do? We cook, we eat, we bake. One pan smothered pork chops can be found on my Pinterest, which I will link down below. It's under the recipes I've tried. I absolutely love that dish. Baked potatoes going on. I'm going to make smothered pork chops. I think I video recorded this one time. I have a little bit of like a tablespoon of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm just going to saute the onions in here. Then take the onions out, put the pork chops in, season those. And then take the pork chops out, put the onions and everything in the beef stock. And then that goes in the onion. Then that goes into the oven. And we add some provolone cheese onto that. It's going to be really good. Again, I made this
I'll try to find it and I'll post it in the subscription box of me actually making this, because I don't really want to redo it all. But just kind of letting you know what I'm cooking for tonight. I know I said I wouldn't try to film another video on this dish, but I aim to please. So after sauteing the onions for 3 to 5 minutes, I transferred them into another dish and placed them aside. Then I added 4 boneless pork chops and seasoned them with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and thyme. Place them into the skillet with another tablespoon of olive oil and cook for about 3 minutes on both sides to get them golden brown looking. Then transfer the chops onto another plate afterwards and set aside. And then you're going to add the 1 cup of beef stock and get it to a boil. This is the time where you want to season it with more salt and pepper if you want. Jay's home and he's on the phone with his aunt and uncle and ready to call his cousins next. Everyone is holding up and staying positive for his parents' and sisters' safety. Meanwhile, I was messaging with Michelle from my Everyday Wife Life and trying to reassure my mom all will be okay. Our kitchen is smelling marvelous, and I'm so glad we will have a full, hearty meal to help us sleep throughout the night. Alrighty, it's time to place the chops back into this deliciousness of a skillet. And don't forget to spoon some of that flavorful stock over the chops, along with some onions too. Lastly, place the provolone cheese over the top of the pork chops. I know. Oh my gosh, so good. My mom, Queen G, prefers no cheese, so I always finish cooking hers in a separate dish. Then off into the oven it goes for about 10 to 15 minutes until the chops are done in a preheated oven at 400 degrees.
Part of the state. Once they come back on shore, we'll fill back up the bays. Tampa Bay will fill back up. But we'll even get a little bit of storm surge. There's a lot of force with this, right? But it will be nothing like what we saw south of Port Charlotte. Fort Myers, Naples, guys, the damage there I've seen is just truly heartbreaking. I'm from Naples. I know the spots that are flooded. I've seen people's homes, video, water rushing and filling up the stairs. I mean, people are literally having to swim out of their homes in some cases. It is absolutely terrifying. I mean, even law enforcement and emergency, we saw the firehouse in Naples having to get evacuated because of the surge, which was so extensive and just unprecedented. Way higher than what we saw in Irma, way higher than what we saw in Wilma back in 2005, because of where exactly Ian K's worst case scenario really panned out in Fort Myers, Sanibel Island, Captiva Island. Of course, those areas were hard hit by Charlie. Florida seeing that as well. So winds are starting to simmer down a little bit towards the coastal areas, which is good. I think they're fighting down in Naples. It takes time for that surge to Charlotte, or do you think it'll be much less? Okay, so I know it's night now, we're kind of limited, if you guys didn't get a chance to travel a lot.
Always, you could always tweak it to what you like with more salt or pepper. If you like more cheese, kind of like what we did with the provolone, you can do that. If you don't like provolone, you can use Swiss. So we really enjoyed that. I had enough for leftovers, and thankfully my in-laws had called the day after and told us that they were perfectly safe. The water had receded out into the Gulf. All of that water that was in their channel kind of receded out. And unfortunately it was blown, or should I say Ian blew it towards more southern of Florida, like into, unfortunately, like Fort Myers. And my in-laws, thankfully, they were only out of power for about 12 hours. Same thing with their TV cable and internet, but they were all together. My sister-in-law was there, so they just, they hunkered down. They also said that they had learned quite a lot from Hurricane Ian. They've been extremely lucky with all of the hurricanes that they have experienced. I don't know, like I always tell that little St. Pete beach, man, it's like this little island that could you know what I mean? It's crazy. As much as all of the hurricane threats since I've been within this family of mine, St. Pete Beach has not been touched, and the last couple of times we've been pretty darn fortunate. I know there are some of you who watch my channel and are from Florida. I hope you and your family remained safe during Ian. I mean, we were just glued to the news. I was even finding storm chasers on YouTube, which probably didn't really help the situation, but I was just really frantic in trying to find anything around where my in-laws were. And I was able to find one storm tracker, and it kind of calmed my nerves knowing that up there wasn't as bad. So but again, I'm saying for those who were affected, my thoughts and my prayers are with you, and I hope that you find some type of relief. If you are still without power or a home, anything like that, my prayers are with you and yours. Hey, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I just thought I would share a recipe and a grocery haul and a little bit about that scare of Ian, all wrapped in one video. And it was interesting, I was wearing this shirt on that day that I was filming myself, but I didn't actually get on camera. And then today, when I wanted to take some time to talk to you, I realized, hey, I have the same shirt on. Yeah, that's a total D thing. Give this video a thumbs up. Until then, I will see you on the next one. Bye.